So ever since we found out about the Ukraine call and the whistleblower bringing to the attention of the whistleblower's superiors concerns about what took place on that phone call, we've wondered why is it that the DOJ didn't look more seriously into what was, at least initially it seems like, by those superiors considered to be a serious matter, a credible concern that crimes might have taken place. Well, those concerns now are even more pressing because it looks like there was a pretty important referral to the DOJ. Weeks before the whistleblower's complaint became public, the CIA's top lawyer made what she considered to be a criminal referral to the Justice Department about the whistleblower's allegations that President Donald Trump abused his office in pressuring the Ukrainian president. US officials familiar with the matter tell NBC News. That move by the CIA's general counsel, Trump appointee Courtney Simmons Elwood, that's how the deep state gets you by your appointees, meant she and other senior officials had concluded a potential crime had been committed. According to officials, Elwood was acting under rules that a report must occur if there's a reasonable basis to the allegations defined as, quote, facts and circumstances that would cause a person of reasonable caution to believe that a crime has been, is being, or will be committed. Or maybe all three of those things. And yet, it was squashed.
Yeah. So a couple of reasons why from the Justice Department, and I'm deeply amused. So the first issue that comes up is campaign finance violations, because there are two possible crimes here, and apparently the CIA's lawyer referred to campaign finance crimes predominantly because the first crime is just asking for a favor for your political campaign from a foreign country is illegal. We've explained that 1,000 times now. It still hasn't gotten through to a lot of people. Although Tucker Carlson today on Fox, well, on his own blog was like, kind of problematic, right? So it's getting through to some folks. Anyway, so the second part is, well, if it was a quid pro quo and something was, promised in return, then it could be extortion, bribery, fraud, and a lot of different other crimes. And so Justice Department goes, well, you only said campaign finance, so that's the only one we're gonna look at. And normally what happens is you go and once some issue arises, you go then investigate all the facts and determine if any crimes have been committed. They said, no, we're not going to do that. We're only going to look at the thing that you mentioned, and then we're gonna conclude 100%, no matter what the facts are, that it's not a crime. Now, why do I say that? Because when they move to the second stage, they're like, no, we're not looking at all the facts. We're not looking at all potential crimes. You said campaign finance, that's the only thing I'm looking at. Now, when I look at that, I go, well, yes, he definitely asked a foreign government. There's no question about that. Yes, he definitely mentioned his political opponent. And at the time, Trump publicly had said 5 days after the Ukraine call that he thought Biden was gonna win and be the nominee on the Democratic side. He very well might be wrong about that. I think he is wrong about that, but that is what he believed, right? So there's no question about any of that. And he's soliciting help from, so it's clear violation. So Justice Department is like, well, you have to solicit either money or a thing of value. And is a giant investigation by a foreign government a thing of value? No. No, all it would take is $1. How are they gonna do a giant investigation of Trump's political opponent without spending $1? Okay, it doesn't make any sense at all. They're like, it doesn't have to. The Attorney General is William Barr. His job is to cover Trump's ass. So they're like, and we're done with it. And they wrapped it up.
Well, to be fair, the Ukrainian ruble, I don't know, it might be, it's unclear whether, how, dollar goes a long way in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one point just to raise really quickly before, I have a particular concern about it being squashed in the way that it was, but isn't it just great that this criminal referral had to come from the CIA's top lawyer? That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's like,
couldn't we just have
what's the day-to-day work of the CIA's top lawyer? Like outside of covering up Trump's crimes or the whistleblower or whatever.
Yeah. Someone could tell us, but then they'd have to kill us.
Right, exactly.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, look, but the reason the CIA's top lawyer is doing it is because the Justice Department isn't doing it. Normally, it's the job of the Justice Department.
Yeah.
And then normally the CIA's top lawyer is covering up, extraordinary renditions and kidnappings and torture, etc. But in this case, and it's a Trump appointee, they're like, yeah, but this is kind of really illegal and it doesn't look like you guys are gonna do anything about it. So I have to go through a formal process here and at least report it as illegal.
This has been William Barr's MO his whole life. Like that's like, I mean, he covered up the Iran-Contra stuff when he was the AG over there under Bush Padre. He's one of those guys, like if you guys see the movie, the Vice movie, the Dick Cheney movie, where he's like executive power absolutists, like legal theorists.
That's right.
That think that, that basically the president can't commit a crime by definition. And that's probably why he's there in the first place.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like it's very easy to get wrapped up in the news of the day and the week and the month or whatever, but like how many shows did we do sitting at this desk about why he could not become the AG? We knew why he was being selected and we knew what he would do if he got into the position, and what do you know? Turns out that we were right. And especially in this particular case, we've seen the whistleblower complaint. It names Trump, obviously, it names Rudy Giuliani, and it names William Barr. How could he, I mean, they're saying it was one of his subordinates that squashed it. He probably never even heard about it, I'm sure.
Oh no.
How is that legal? That's the clearest conflict of interest. He destroys an investigation in which he is apparently a participant, a scandal that he's a participant in. How, like, and I've been saying since this first came out, like, yes, push for impeachment of Donald Trump. Remove William Barr immediately. How is that not a bigger part of this conversation?
I mean, at a bare minimum, he has to recuse himself from a case where he could be one of the people charged. I mean, it's like law 101. There's no, but it doesn't matter because they've decided their own base doesn't care about facts, and then the Republican senators are so afraid of their own base, they don't care about facts. But there's one other funny part to this, or actually two. So when basically folks inquired about, like, did you guys look into whether Ukraine could do an investigation of Joe Biden without spending any money? Or how much money would they have to spend to look into Joe Biden? The Justice Department's like, no, we didn't look at that. Okay, it was inconvenient, but still not the funniest. Another excuse that they used was, well, the CIA's top lawyer called us and made this criminal referral, but she didn't put it in writing.
That's why you always send the follow-up email.
Yeah.
Just this is what we spoke
CIA
about.
The CIA doesn't send emails. They know that stuff's being read by those guys at the NSA.
Could you imagine? They're like those guys at the NSA, man. They're reading everything. It's a bunch of people looking into everything and outrageous. Anyways, I like that the Justice Department's like, no, we're a stickler for the law.
Right.
So it had to be in writing. By the way, it doesn't have to be in writing. That's not any part of the law. It's just another very, very flimsy excuse. Look, the only thing you could say anymore that's anywhere near honest if you're a Republican, and Tucker went half of the way there today, we'll talk about that later in the show, is just say, look, come on, it's obviously illegal, but I don't care. And say like, yeah, it's a small crime. What's the big deal? Sure, ask Iran, North Korea, Russia, China, Ukraine, anyone you like, Venezuela, Cuba, for assistance, and do as much damage as you can to political opponents. Small crime, don't care. Okay, if you think it's a small crime and you don't care, that doesn't change the law. We still have to uphold it. And part of that would be to say, yeah, the president's kind of above the law. And let's keep it real here, guys. Any regular person would have gotten charged on at least half a dozen things that Trump has done while in office already. I get that it's a higher bar for the president because you get into political mess, etc. And I actually somewhat agree with that. Like, so when Clinton lied on the record about sleeping with Monica Lewinsky, yeah, okay, there should be some penalty for that because he broke the law. The penalty shouldn't necessarily be impeachment. But I would argue this is a very significant crime. Otherwise, there are no rules. So then the Democrats can go, like I said, say, hey, North Korea, can you bug my political opponents? Remember, North Korea broke into Sony and got all their records. So we could bug them, or you know what, just break into their computers like apparently Russia did to Hillary Clinton. But just do it to Republicans, who cares? Let's break into all their computers, steal all their files, see if they got any naked pictures, see what they're looking at, because it's open season. There are no laws anymore. I think it's a pretty major law, and he 100% broke it. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.